You want to know what's better than one taco? Two tacos. You want to know what's better than two tacos? Three tacos. Was that too corny? Should we cut that out? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm comparing my 3rd gen Toyota Tacoma against my brand new 2024 4th gen Tacoma, and we got the tape measure out and we're going to figure out how the 3rd gen stacks up to the brand new 4th gen Tacoma. So one thing I want to point out before we start the video is that these are aftermarket wheels and tires. So these are the TRD Pro wheels from Toyota. Originally they came with the TRD off-road wheels. These are the same size. These are still 16-inch wheels, but the tire size is a little bit different. These are 265/75 R16s, and so these are going to be about an inch taller than the stock tires that it came with. So keep that in mind as we go throughout the video, as we start measuring things, that this is going to be a little bit taller than the stock tires. And the other thing is the wheel offset. So these have a 13mm offset, and the TRD off-road wheels had a 25mm offset. So these are going to stick out about a ½ inch more than the TRD off-road wheels. So keep that in mind as well as we start to measure things. 74.5. Moving on to the 4th gen, we're about 76.5.
So the 3rd gen measured 74.5, and remember, if these had the TRD off-road wheels, it would be an inch narrower. So there's actually 3 inches between the two because the 4th gen measured at 76.5, and this lines up with what Toyota told us. They told us it was going to be 3 inches wider.
Okay, next up we're going to measure the space in between the driver's side door and the passenger door to see if Toyota gave us any more room in the 4th gen. So measuring from door to door, 58.5. And then coming over to the 4th gen, we are at 58. So next up, I want to measure the center console because I feel like the center console in the 4th gen is much bigger than the 3rd gen. So let's test that. Okay, the center console there, this section right here is 8 inches. And this is about 8 1/4. So not much difference there. All right, so now we're going to measure the seat here and to see if Toyota has given us any more legroom in the 4th gen as we compare it to the 3rd gen here. So we are at 18 inches here on the seat. And then if we come over here to the 4th gen, we're about 20 inches from the back here to the front. So they've given us 2 more inches of thigh support right here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to see if that's actually hurt us on our leg room here. So let's go over here. I've scooted the chair all the way forward and I've leveled it at 90 degrees, so it's straight up and down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the front of this here to the back of the seat here and see how much distance that is. So 15 inches is the gap here. I've moved this seat all the way forward 90 degrees. And we're also at 15 inches as well. So they've given us 2 inches in thigh support though. So that would actually be an additional 2 inches here that they've given us in the 4th gen. I'm going to hop in the back seat here. So I have this seat pushed all the way back. My butt is all the way back against, my back's here. And I'm not quite touching here. I can put my fingers in between here. It's going to be kind of hard to measure, but we'll just see how this compares to the 4th gen. So with the seat pushed all the way back and this kind of at a 90-degree angle, you can see I got quite a bit more room here. Now this wouldn't be a very comfortable seating position, but when we compare apples to apples, there's a little bit more room here. What we're going to do is just going to put it to the bottom of the seat here and then measure up. So we're at 37 inches from the bottom of the seat to the top of the roof. You can do the same over here. We're at 36 and a half. So you get about a ½ inch more in the 4th gen. Okay, next up what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from here to here to see if we have any kind of change compared to the 4th gen. See if they gave us any more room there. So I'm going to go here. Okay, we're right at 78 inches. Now we're going to do the same here. Okay, so we're at 81 inches here. So that's a 3-inch difference between that front panel there and this back panel here. So visually speaking, the 3rd gen rear door is quite a bit longer than the 4th gen. I mean, just by looking at it, you can tell that the rear door here is quite a bit shorter than the rear door here. We are at 35 and a quarter. And 36 and a quarter. So this door is an inch longer than compared to the 4th gen. Okay, next up we're going to measure the front panel here on the door. So we're at 41 and 3/4 right here. And 45 and a half. So the difference between the two would actually be 3 3/4 inches, comparing this door panel to the 3rd gen. Okay, next up we're going to take some measurements of the bed and see how that compares. Okay guys, we're right at 57 inches right here. Comparing that to the 3rd gen, this is at 56 and a half. So we got about a ½ inch wider on the 4th gen. Now we're going to measure the depth of the bed. 19 inches here and 20 inches here. So you got about an inch taller on this side here. All right, now we're going to measure the bed length with the tailgate down. So this would give you 83 inches and then 81 inches over here. So that's an extra 2 inches of length over there. So now I'm going to close the tailgates and we're just going to measure the distance from the back of the tailgate to the back of the cab. See what that is. We're at 59 and a half. And 61 over here. So that's an inch and a half difference. Okay, we're going to do the bed height now. So we're at 50 and 3/4. And over here we are 53. So we're at 53 inches here compared to the 50 3/4 inches on the 3rd gen. Next up, we're going to measure our overall height. Okay, we're right at 69 inches. So keep in mind that these are KO2s, so this gives me about an inch more height because these are aftermarket wheels. So keep that in mind. So the actual stock height would be 68 inches. All right, coming over to the 4th gen. So we're at about 69.5 inches here, guys. So if we were comparing a stock Tacoma to the 4th gen, that would be an 1.5 inch height as far as the roof line goes. Next up, we're going to measure the wheel well distance here. Okay, so we're at 31.5. And here we are at 36. So they've given us a lot more room, and we already know this. It's going to be a lot easier to fit bigger wheels and tires on here than compared to the 3rd gen. So we already knew that, which is awesome. I'm thinking of all the things I can measure, and I'm going to measure the telescoping capabilities of the 4th gen because it is hilarious in the 3rd gen. It moves like, I don't know, like half an inch maybe. So I have it fully extended right now. We're at 7.5. And then if we compress it all the way in, we're about 5 inches. So that gives us 2.5 inches of telescoping capabilities in the 4th gen. Okay, moving on to the 3rd gen. I'm gonna pull it out as far as I can. Now let's see, we're about 7 3/4. See that? It's nothing. And now we're basically 7 inches, maybe a little more than that. So you get less than an inch of telescoping capabilities in the 3rd gen than you do compared to the 4th gen. This is the cement color compared to the underground color, which I would call wet cement. But you can see the cement color is quite a bit lighter than the underground color. And what I'm noticing so far is that the underground color is really hard to keep clean. You can see a lot of spots, water spots on here. It shows the dirt quite a bit. So I actually just got this washed, guys, and I probably didn't do a great job, but it should be halfway decent. But you can see there's still spots on here, so it's kind of hard to clean. So that's one thing that I really liked about the cement color, is that it hides dirt pretty well. There wasn't a lot of water spots on it, and it just looks really good, guys. But we don't have that color anymore. The cement color is no longer available, and the underground was my next favorite choice, and I still like it. It's very dark, has like a blue tint to it, but let me know what you guys think. So there you have it, guys. Hopefully that was informative. If I missed anything, let me know. Shoot me a comment and I will get back to you. These are all the things I can think of right now, so hopefully that was informational for you. So please like, subscribe, guys. I'm going to be doing a lot of comparisons between these two trucks. They're both mine. I have them. I couldn't get rid of the 3rd gen. I love it. I love the V6. But the 4th gen, guys, it is a step above. It's super nice. So let me know what you want me to do. Any kind of matchups, comparisons, let me know, because I have them both at my disposal. So we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.